Building a business rooted in purpose. I am super excited to be here today. As you know, I am Lindsay Schlick with SchlickArt, and my wonderful guest today is the beautiful Melanie Meyer with Pathway Financial with Thrivent. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. It is an honor to be part of this program.
Thank you. So we all know that SchlickArtTV is a marketing show, but today we want to talk about philanthropy in business and how marketing becomes a byproduct of the work that we do. Now, your company and our company is very similar in the core values that giving back is such a huge part of what we do. How did this come about for you and your business? And tell me the story of, you joining Thrivent, where you started, and, what drew you to this company?
I did not choose Thrivent. I think Thrivent chose me. And I'm pretty sure I did not understand that at first. So Thrivent is a company that at its core value is about being generous. Being generous in your time, your money, your causes that you support. And in this financial industry, the work that I do, I help coach people on how to, make good decisions with their money so that they can also support the causes that they care about and feel good about it and not worry about it. Philanthropy for us has never been something that we do for business. Yep. It's always been something that we do because we care about it, and it's part of who we are. Yeah. And so it's just naturally become our identity, I guess.
So how long have you been with Thrivent now?
33 years. Oh my God.
Which I personally think that is amazing though, because there is a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners who have jumped from organization to organization with their companies. Whereas they found you, this organization 33 years ago, and your values and their values meshed in such a way that you've stayed with this company for 33 years. To me, that is outstanding, right?
It is pretty amazing.
That's a long relationship. Can you tell me a little bit, you are Thrivent and that is your company, but Jeff was also a huge part, your husband Jeff was also a huge part of Thrivent for the longest time and is now retired, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me some of the things that you and Jeff have done together philanthropically, through Thrivent, but also because of just who you are as a couple. Can you talk to me about some of those things?
Oh, there's a few things. I would say Thrivent introduced us to Habitat for Humanity. So we've done a couple international Habitat for Humanity builds, and oh my gosh, it is humbling to see what you're building in another country for people who have nothing. Some of the things we've done locally, we basically produced and put together what we call a singer-songwriter tribute. Yeah. We did that for probably, I don't know exactly how many years, probably 14 or 15 years. Yeah. And it started out as just this little fun get-together for our friends in somebody's backyard. And it grew into this thing that had 500 people in a park. And it was a 3-hour show. And we raised money for local organizations. We had instruments donated because we were musicians and we wanted kids to be able to play music.
Can you talk about the matching with Thrivent? So you wanted to be a part of these organizations and you took those organizations to Thrivent and told them what you were doing, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you tell me about that?
So one of Thrivent's core values is live generously. It's ingrained in what they do. They have a very charitable component to the company itself, and it allows them to kind of demonstrate really good core values. And so that's probably part of the reason I'm still there. And it also allows me to kind of teach that to my clients. And it, like I said earlier, it helps people to feel that they can be generous. And whether that means support organizations in their time, their education, their volunteer work, of course, their money, it gives them the freedom to be able to comfortably be able to do that.
That's awesome. Do you also, so obviously you have certain organizations near to and dear to your heart,
Absolutely.
right? Right now, you know, the hospital, Henry Mayo, here in Santa Clarita, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and Bella Vita, the senior center here in SCV. How did that come about? Why are those three right now near and dear to your heart?
It's been a journey. Well, I shouldn't say when we. For a number of years, Jeff and I would support a multitude of institutions and organizations, absolutely, that we cared about. Because I think you truly have to figure out the organizations that align with your values. Because if you're just supporting something that you don't have a connection to, it's not authentic, and people then can very easily see through that. Yeah. And you're just there to have your name on the list of the organization or something. Yeah. And so now we have very purposely, mostly because of health issues for us, chosen organizations that are either related to health or aging. And so that's when it comes to Henry Mayo New Hall Memorial Hospital, Bella Vita, Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, and like you mentioned, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which ultimately just changed its name. It's Blood Cancer United now.
The Leukemia Lymphoma Society, now Blood Cancer United. There's a coincidence there of why that organization, like within a 2-year period, both you and Jeff needed them, yes, right? Yes. Can we talk about that for a little bit? Yeah. Absolutely. So tell me about that.
So in 2018, you hear me clearing my throat. In 2018, I would be doing that constantly through this entire conversation. And it wasn't just because I had a cold or allergies or any of that. It was because it was my lymph nodes pushing on my vocal cords, making it hard for me to talk. Now, when you talk with clients all day long at work, this is a problem.
And sing at the top
and
of
sing.
The event.
I couldn't sing hardly at all at that event.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with that a little bit, but it's better. Anyway, it took probably 9 months for the physicians to figure out what was wrong with me. They kept saying, oh, you have asthma and you have pneumonia. And I did have pneumonia for a while, but that was long gone by the time they figured it out. And so eventually I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I did not intend this, but I went on Facebook the first day I was getting chemo, and I said, here we go, chemo round 1. And then I put my phone down and I went through chemo. It was like a 5-6 hour process for the whole thing. And I came home and I picked up my phone and I had, this makes me cry, 400 messages.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had that kind of impact on people. Sorry.
Oh. Don't be sorry. It is. It's the effect that you and Jeff in, you know, the impact that you have put on this community by all that you have done, giving back and supporting this community through just who you are. People give it back tenfold, and you don't do it for that reason, right? It's the same as what we talk about in both of it, and this is one of the things that why Brian and I are such huge fans of you and Jeff, is like our core values align in the sense of we're not doing it for the good of our health, we're not doing it for the good of our business, we're not doing it to, you know, say I'm on this board or that board or the accolades. It's not for anybody else. It's for us to do a nice thing for our community. And you just don't expect anything back. You know, you give with the right because you want to give. You know, you receiving with the left is is a surprise, right? It's like, I didn't expect this back. And those 400 messages are because of the impact that you created on this community. And that is amazing to hear. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so you had how many rounds of chemo?
8 rounds of chemo and 15 rounds of radiation. It was rough.
And it was over a 6-month period?
Yeah, it started in September, I believe, and March 1st was the last day I had my last radiation.
And did you reach out to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society for help, or because now you wanted to support? How
Actually,
did that come
I
about?
didn't even know about them when I was going through the treatment, and I found out about it after the fact because they were having a what they call a Light the Night walk down in Woodland Hills, and it's just a fundraiser for the organization. And I found out about it just through a friend in Santa Clarita that said, you might want to participate in this. And so we did, and got to know the leadership there, started contributing to it. I did a huge fundraiser for the organization in 2020, right during COVID, of all times to start a fundraiser. But amazingly, I raised about $140,000 for them. Amazing. And then literally, probably 6-9 months later, Jeff goes in and has a little bit of an anemic thing going on in his body. And they said, well, we should test you for a few other things. And they found out that he had multiple myeloma, which is a completely separate version of another form of blood cancer. So now we both have this. And because we know,
you like to spread the wealth in
because
all ways.
But because we knew the leadership in that organization, they immediately put us in charge with basically the head of the multiple myeloma department at UCLA, and got the most amazing care from UCLA. I can't say enough about them.
So this has become very near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely.
Where did Henry Mayo come in?
Just because it's a local organization, Blood Cancer United is a national organization that, yes, I can very much be a part of it, but I also wanted something very local that was also health related. Mm-hmm. And I had talked to Henry Mayo about being on their foundation board before, and there was just too many things going on personally in my life at that time. But after we went through this, I said, that's the place. I should be doing that at Henry Mayo as well.
That's awesome. And then where did the senior center come in? Because we've worked together on multiple organizations out here, from Seroptimist. I know you've helped Single Mothers Outreach in the past. There's so many places that you and I have cross paths, bumped into each other, the fashion show, Bras for a Cause, all these different events. But, why the senior center?
I just believe that there's core things that people need. Medical health is one of them. Food is another. Mm-hmm. And the senior center does amazing work providing food to this community. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to support those things. Health and food. It's basic necessities that people need.
I want to talk about the word authenticity. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Early on, the authenticity that we wanted to bring to our business and our personal lives, because we wanted them to align, was to, listen and make people feel heard and lead by example. There's a saying that says, or the words are, to whom much has been given, much is expected. And I take that to heart. And so if I'm going to lead by example or give much because I'm expected to, I better do it authentically, or nobody's going to believe me or have trust in me in the long run.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason why we both pick the organizations that, we can't help everybody and everything.
We'd really like to, but
Yeah. Oh
That's
my
not gonna
gosh.
happen.
If we had the unlimited resources, yeah, like, oh my gosh, we'd drive people crazy, wouldn't we?
There they are again.
But we choose the organizations that we can help authentically,
Yes.
right? And give to, and sometimes we have to say no, because we have to spread what wealth we do have, and what, how fortunate we are amongst the organizations that we know that we can care for or give 100% to. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some businesses who are maybe just starting out, or, have been in business for a while and are now at a place where their business is stable and they haven't necessarily thought about, helping local organizations or giving back, So what advice would you give to a company who, wants to be more impact driven and create that core value in an authentic way?
I think the leadership of the organization probably has to do a deep dive on what they care about. Separate themselves out from what it looks like to somebody else and say, this is what I truly care about. Yeah. And it may change over time. It's health and food at this moment for us. Maybe in 20 years that will change for us. I don't really think so, but it could. Yeah. And so the first step is just to figure out what it is you truly care about. Yeah. Because if you can align what you truly care about to what it is you're going to support, then it never feels like work. Yeah. And it always feels like something that you get to do. Yeah. And so I do think that deep dive personally into what you really care about is a big deal.
We've been a part of this community for a long time now, and we've seen businesses start in Santa Clarita or move to Santa Clarita. And it becomes kind of a little bit of a keeping up with the Joneses, or, you meet a couple of people over here who are part of this nonprofit, and you join the nonprofit because you like the people versus liking the nonprofit, yes. Right? Yes. And so, tell me, your thoughts on that, because I think that's not necessarily a bad place to start if that gets you in the door, for you to then go, oh, now I want to give back. Mm-hmm. I'm going to choose what I really care about. But sometimes you have to go through that to get to the other side, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's why I made the comment that, for a number of years, Jeff and I supported a number of organizations. And it was partially to, I shouldn't say partially, it was probably primarily to get to know these organizations, see if we aligned with them, making sure that I wanted to be a part of it and didn't feel like I just had to be a part of it. Yeah. And so I think it's a process, but it was part of that deep dive that I was talking about for us.
Yeah. As well. And then you narrowed it down to 3 that you give abundantly to, which helps you also control, how much you can give of your time. Because yes. I know it's not just, we're not talking about, a couple of thousand here, a couple of thousand there to check done on a problem. It is your time that you are giving, right? Which, as you grow a business and get older, becomes way more important, than the money side, right?
I ultimately think that it becomes a little bit of your legacy. Yeah. Working in the financial industry, you help create legacies for people. And the things that you do are what your legacy is. Not how much you gave them, but how much you supported an organization, or how you helped develop something for that organization, or how you just gave of your time and helped people feel heard and listened to.
Can you give some advice to, say, either a new business or a business that's been has been established for a while and maybe grown to this point that they want to give back, of what are some benefits financially to choose a couple of organizations or an organization to help philanthropically?
Well, taxes. It's a direct benefit to you. So it's going to reduce ultimately what you pay to the IRS in tax liability. And wouldn't you choose to send those dollars to some organization you care about instead of an organization where you don't really know where it goes sometimes?
I know your philanthropic work has absolutely nothing to do with your marketing return on investment. You do this because it is who you are at a informational building level. This is, at a bare level, this is who you are. Mm-hmm. Do you do any marketing?
A little. Most of the marketing we do are educational things. So we will do a women's event, or we'll host you used to come to the things that we called Thursdays with Thrivent. We're changing the thought process of that a little bit, but we would go just to a little wine bar, and we would say, if you have questions, we are here to answer them. We don't really have an agenda. We just want you to get to know us and feel free to ask the dumb question that you don't feel good asking anywhere else. Especially if we give you a little wine, then you'll feel more comfortable. Yeah. And ultimately, we get business and referrals from things like that are social in nature, very non-threatening, and people just enjoy attending them.
But again, at a fundamental level, that's giving back. That's still giving back.
You're right.
Yeah. You're giving free financial advice
with no expectation of getting anything back at that moment. Didn't
you used to buy the first glass of wine as well? So it's not even, it's not even, it's a minus. So, but again, it's giving back.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. That is the core value. And you, I'm sure, would walk out of those events sometimes with no return on investment. Or I say that the word no actually means not now, because it might be that person comes back to you in 6 months' time, a year, or, it's the faith that in the end you are doing a good thing, and because of this, organically and faithfully, your business grows, And when I say faith, I'm not talking in a religious sense. I'm talking in what you put out in the world naturally comes back through just, being a good person and, being a core value driven business. It just does. And we talk about this with a lot of business owners, is just to have that little bit of faith. It happens organically. What you put out in the world does come back, especially when you don't rely on it. Right. You just do it because you want to do it. Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm. A number of our clients have ultimately, at those social events, I don't necessarily even reach out after the fact to people. And we see people coming to us wanting or choosing to work with us instead of us reaching out to them saying, hey, you should work with us. It's usually the other way around. Yeah. And I think it's mostly because they see that, our values align with theirs.
Tell me if you agree with this statement. Even if you did retire, the philanthropic side of who you are would not stop.
No, it wouldn't. Not at all. Mm-mm. When I talk about legacy, it's my own legacy, but I get to participate in other people's legacy. Yeah. And so everybody's legacy is very different, but sometimes it's, this was the client's ultimate goal to retire at this age or something like that. And we get to celebrate. We get to be part of other people's celebrations, which is amazing. And that's, I think it's a testament to how much they feel comfortable with us to bring us in on their celebrations.
That's amazing. Yeah. But it also aligns with the fact that this has absolutely nothing to do with your professional life. This has to do with who you and Jeff are as people, and your ability to give back and saying yes always because it's who you are, right?
Yeah.
So the Senior Center event is coming up this April 25th. We're both involved in this organization. You are a board member, and Brian and I are creating some video content, and we'll be at the event. Again, near dear to both of our hearts. But this event is changing, correct?
Yes.
So for years, it has been the celebrity waiter event for the Senior Center. But Bella Vita having this beautiful location, and we're in kind of a new wave of the Senior Center. Can you tell me a little bit more about the event now?
So this is the 50th year anniversary of the Senior Center even being in existence in Santa Clarita Valley. So the theme is all that glitters is gold, because gold is the 50th anniversary gift.
Wow.
And then it's also starting the new branding of this event. So it's going to be called the Golden Gala going forward. So instead of the celebrity waiter event, which we don't have celebrity waiters anymore, it's just going to be called the Golden Gala. And it's kind of a play on words for golden years and fun. And so.
And Bella Vita is just such a golden place to be as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've gone in there, you know, we're not there yet, but we've got every time there yet. But when you enter that place, it still gives you, like, it's such a delight to be there.
It's
it really, really is.
Lovely facility and amazing people as well.
It is amazing. So get your tickets, sponsor.
Yes,
yeah, we will be
absolutely.
there. Come and enjoy this event. Well, thank you for being here and being part of SchlickArtTV and talking us through, you know, I love talking to you about all your philanthropic work and Thrivent. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And Melanie Meyer with Pathway with Thrivent, and Lindsay Schlick with SchlickArt. And thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.